Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So we're quite far along in my story as we approach part 50. And this is part 4, I believe, of the Santa Cruz story. So let's just try to shoot through this really quickly here. I'm probably not going to do part 5 because I have to kind of move around right now because of the situation here. I have to make a last-ditch attempt while they're filming me and screening me out and making it clear to me that they're going to cause my death, and I'm not, moved in the slightest about it. Keep in mind, I'm happy about my life, and I'm glad I'm not them. Glad I'm not the richest people in the world. I'm glad I'm me. God bless me, and God curse all those who cheat me on my right to live. Okay, so around 19 years old is when I meet Patrice. Okay, and there's wordplay with her name, but we don't have time to really get into that. Okay, but you see the word trick and ap-e, trick. And of course, she was gender neutral. There's E words like sloppy and fatty and silly and goofy. And I'm not going to get into it, because I'm not mad at her right now or something. I'm just trying to tell the story. No offense to anybody. Let's just shoot through this. So during this time period, I'm very much not playing around, right? Since 17 or so, I've shifted into a very serious person. And, they try to confuse that by changing my voice. There's, I'm not gay, I'm not weird, I'm not mentally ill. And there's a bunch of people trying to confuse that as part of their gaslighting campaigns, right? It's part of the reason why there's so much child molestation in the church and the Boy Scouts and they don't shut these things down is because there's a lot of gaslighting and a lot of funny business going on to cover this stuff up. And it's every culture has a child molestation problem, right? In terms of, it's either you look into the Jews, you look into the Muslims, the Christians, no matter what it is, they all have a problem like that. And it has to do with the cults who have infiltrated their races and control their cultures and so on and so forth. So those various Oakland people I came across, and they're part of, right, Satan's Cruise, right? There was the Oakland guys at the boardwalk. There's one white kid with these, teenager with these black kids, and they're yelling that they're from West Oakland or East Oakland or something, and the some guy, some security guard says you're doing what they want you to do or something like this, and that was kind of peculiar. There was also Oakland guys who came, who knew Patrice, and they met her at a party, and she was in a bathroom with them, is what she told me, and that they wanted to talk to her or something, and she said she wasn't interested in him, and he wasn't letting her leave the bathroom, and he's acting like an asshole or something. But she didn't say that he raped her or something. They didn't say that, but it certainly feeds into the bitterness of the situation in regards to the rape issues and so on and so forth. Okay. So keep in mind, especially because I'm exposing this stuff, they'll probably step up the smear campaign or something. Just don't believe them. Okay. So point number 18. There was this guy named Bear, and he had a few Crip guys that rolled with him, and they weren't, serious gang members or something, but they were known by like everybody in Santa Cruz around his age or whatever. And there was also this guy who, I guess he was a Crip, I'm not sure, and he was with some Igbo guys, and his name was Manor, okay? And you have the word man, the word manor, and they came off like they're coming from, the English, controlled by the English or some English intelligence or something. They had that kind of frat way about them. Okay. And there was also these other guys. One of them looked like this rapper who died, named Al Capone, and he rapped with this rapper from, A-Tray Gangsters named Little Sody. And I saw him around. One time, maybe I was under mind control. I don't know what I was thinking. I kind of waved at him. Like, hey, like I'm a gangster too, and I'm out here, and da-da-da again, I'm not from the ghetto or anything like that, and I don't want to be, and I don't want to be associated with that, and so on and so forth. But, I've always been like that. I always had a romantic approach to it, adventure, my own specific style, the voice of reason, but I looked very similar to a lot of these Crip guys. And this guy, he bothers to roll down his window, and he's like, I don't know you, okay? What's interesting is that something like that happened one time when I was in the club. People in the club, sometimes they get faded and they talk to each other. So, I walked by these two guys from Oakland, bigger, really big guys with top hats, not really strong, but, big and pudgy, right? And I say something like, hey, what's up, or something, I forgot what I say. And these guys follow me back into the bathroom, and they're staring at me like, do you know him? I don't know him. We don't know you, right? And it's some bitch ass fucking shit, right? So I don't respect that kind of behavior. These people trying to pretend they're important because the Freemasons and them put them up to it. It's stupid. They do things like that to try to act like they're bad and important, and they're weird. It's some weirdo ass shit. And it's not just gangsters. It's, it's a lot of weirdos out there. Teachers, all kinds of, businessmen. They're weirdos. They think that they're important. It's just fucking stupid, okay? God's order is a martial art order. The reality of importance is relative to the Royal African Falcon martial art order. Everything else is some kind of tea time, doll game, Ken Barbie doll, business world bullshit. It's some bitch ass fucking shit. Anyway, scientists and stuff, just immature. They just don't know how to be men. Just immature. Okay, so then there was these seaside Crips at the boardwalk one time. There was like 20 of them. I'm with Devo. Okay, it's around 19, 20, 21, something like this, right? They come in there, and I can't remember if that was a day where I had a blue and black do-rag on, where he had a black and red do-rag on. Okay, and there was some, we were covertly drugged that day. I don't think he remembers it as such, and I don't know if that was that day or not. But they come in, and there's like 4 of them, and they say, where are you from? Okay, and I say, okay, I'm from San Jose, right, whoop de whoop, right, and and they're like, oh, okay, we thought we thought you guys were some canines, right, some kind of blood gang or some kind of rival gang of theirs. I never kind of figured out what that was, but I've heard, there was some of these guys in West San Jose or some one time where they had an apartment there or some. I heard things like this. You see what I'm saying? But again, this shows you that Santa Cruz, right? Satan's Cruz. That's why I'm bringing up these crews, and it's not just gangs. It's people who are occultists and hippies, and it's every crew there is part of Satan's Cruz, and they very carefully socially engineered it for it to be that way. Okay. So there was various incidents with Serranos, and none of them were serious gang incidents. I came across them, and I came across them in a way that's consistent with gang stalk, and I still come across them. And I come across, Norteños. I do it based on the gangs in the area. Gangs and gang stalking in terms of street criminal gangs, they're not a big part of gang stalking. They're a part of it, no doubt, but they're not a big part of it. It's just like the Western occult. Gangs are a part of the Western occult system, right? Roman numerals, right? Old English script, right? What have you. But they are not the center of it. And they probably don't care to be the center of it because that's some weirdo-ass magic card Merlin, Harry Potter, Frodo Baggins bitch shit, right? I'm sure we can all agree on that. Okay. And again, I'm not trying to insult people in this and just trying to explain it. And that is part of the explanation, that I do not respect the occult, and I have to communicate in a way that that that's actually what I believe, and that I have the utmost disdain, utmost resentment for occultists and the occult and all this behind the scenes, you might call it deep state stuff. It's just really the basic operations of the state. It's right there with, their other basic operations. It's just what you'd expect, right? From a corrupted piece of shit, world with nothing but evil nations, right? Okay. Okay, so there's some Serranos there that resemble Serranos that I've seen elsewhere, like in Gilroy and San Jose. That's point 20. Point 21, when I was in, so I basically go to county there over what you might call a misunderstanding, right? I have no criminal record, okay? And there was blacks there, and there was, when I was about 20 years old, barely 20, right? Maybe by a month or so, right? There's blacks there, there's Serranos there, there's Russians there in county. Okay, excuse me, there's 1 or 2 Russians. So there's about probably 55% Serranos in the cell block I was in.